Hello and welcome to my demonstration of the web application Chirp. So Chirp is a social media website very similar to Twitter in that you are able to create an account and post strings of text up to 200 characters long. And these posts go right here on the main page for everyone to see and for everyone to leave comments on. So as you can see right off the bat, I've got a main page. Each page has a header, dynamically generated, a nav bar, and a decoration, which right now the decoration is popular users. This decoration is dynamically drawn from Django's authentication users element, and I haven't been able to style it because I don't have any more information to give currently. And this main page has all of the posts that have been recently given, like 9:08 p.m., 9:07 p.m., 9 p.m. So it's the most recent at the top. And you see we have different users, like Amy said, is this where I rate my order? Which clearly this isn't a rating website, which is funny. Ryan said, anyone want to hit the gym Tuesday? And people can type whatever they want and post. All you have to do is create an account. So you can click on people's posts and see their post plus all the comments. For example, Mark replied to this thread and said, I don't think this is the right site to Amy's post, which makes sense. It doesn't seem like she's rating anything on this site. Or somebody else, for example, Lisa is just ranting about her cats. I have 32 cat friends that are my whole life. This thread, look at this. Tom said something, and then Lisa said something, and then Ryan said something, and the comments go top to bottom, 904, 905, 906. The earliest are at the top. So it's like a conversation. Now, if you notice, it says, please log in to write a post and please log in to leave a comment because we aren't logged into an account right now. We have the sign up and login options up here. So if we click login, let's log in as Tom. So we type in Tom and Tom's password. When we log in as Tom, it doesn't say log in anymore. It says have something to say and generates this form. And so the form allows us to write a post just like this, where I can say, I love this site. Woohoo! And you can choose between 3 font styles. That's the cool thing about this website. I don't know if you noticed, but this is bold, this is wild, and this is old. 3 different font styles, bold, old, and wild. So you can demo it on here, old, wild, bold. So I'm going to choose wild because I think wild is crazy. I love this site. And then it shows the amount of characters remaining here, which is really nice for if you're typing a bunch and you want to know if you're closer to the end or farther. It's dynamically, every time a key is released, it will update the amount of characters on that form. So I love this site. I'm logged in as Tom, as we can see here on the top right, and I'm going to chirp. And look at that, it pops up right here, Tom. I love this site. And so this is trying to do a new thread where we can click on this and go to the the post detail page. Up here, it's localhost / and this is the unique slug given to each post. It's a 5-character key generated in the Django code and has a little back button up here, and you can leave a reply. And I can say, I do too, which doesn't really make much sense because I'm still Tom, still logged in as Tom. But let's say I log out, logs me out, and I log back in as Amy, and I go, Amy's password, boom, I'm in. I can go, oh, Tom posted that. Let me comment. Me too. Chirp. Amy posted me too. And if you notice, the font for the main post is the font for all the thread comments. And so this website consists so far of 3 pages. The main page with all the posts, each post's page dynamically generated with the post comments, and then the login page that allows us to log in. Now, if you like, I'll dive in and we can take a look at the code used to generate this. So starting, we have our views.py file, which basically tells Django which HTML files to load on each page. I have homepage view. A GET request is what happens when you load the page without requesting anything. And then a POST request is when you fill out the form, which is the Chirp making a post form. And so here it handles putting the context. These posts are dynamically generated. The post form is dynamically generated. And the users on the right side are dynamically drawn from the user Django.contrib auth models users. So all of that is dynamic and will change depending on the information that is connected in the database. The post request will take if the form is valid. If it's not, then it will just reload the page the same. But if the form is valid, it will store the information as post and save it as a new post. And we'll take a look at the models in a second. The single post view is just for one post, but it uses the slug, which is generated every time a post is made. It doesn't have it here, but in the generation, the initializers for the model, it will assign it a 5-character random slug. And that way we can use URLs to get around to each post without accidentally losing a post because 2 have the same URL or something like that. It uses this context and loads it onto this HTML page, which you find under templates. Now there's a lot of templates in here, including the header, navigation. Each post has its own template that I can include on different HTML pages. And so if you go to a regular HTML page, it has all of these include header, navigation, decoration, and it says include post down here. And so I can keep it very dynamic, section it off into small, reasonable chunks of code that aren't completely overwhelming. So next we have in a single post view, post, which is, well, what are we posting in the single post view is a comment. So it has a comment form, right? And so if the form is valid to comment, it will save the post that the comment was on. The author, it will just grab from whoever's logged in the moment, and then it will save it with the content from the comment. And then it will take you back to that same page with the same slug, and the comment will appear. So it reloads and it becomes one of the comments. Next, we have login view, which is very easy. It's completely handled by Django. I just have to tell it to go to login page, which I actually have coded. If you look at registration login, this is the code for the registration page, and you can look at that on the GitHub repository. And then there's the login form. And then logout view will just take you back to home, but it will, because it's logout view, Django will have logged out the account holder, which is really convenient. Next, we have URLs very easily. It handles the 4 pages, home, post detail, which is randomly generated. So it's post detail plus slug, which is defined here, login and log out. However, log out, as we showed in the views.py file, will actually just take you back to home. So there really is 3 main pages in this. Next, we're going to go to forms. In forms, we have our login form with username and password. We have the make a post form. It has 1 field, and these are the HTML attributes that I would have on a normal text area, and I'm able to modify that with the widget equals property. And then I have the font, and the font is actually from choices, which is right here, fonts. And so there's bold, old, and wild. That allows me to manually input the different fonts and store them so I can retrieve them to display the posts. For the comments, similar, except they only have content, nothing else. It's just content. You don't have to specify who's speaking because it will just draw that from whoever's logged in at the moment. And you can't make a comment where you're not logged in, so you don't have to worry about people breaking it that way. We have our models.py file where all the information is stored. Models.py interacts down here with the SQLite bb.sqlite file. And so this makes sure that we don't, it's so nice, we don't have to write any SQL code, any real code with that. We just have to write the model here in Django and they will handle the rest. So I have post, each post stores information content, the author is generated when you post, it will automatically generate that as whoever's logged in. Date, which is auto now, it's whenever you post it, it will just immediately assign it a date. Font type, which is one of the choices, bold or wild. Font uses font type to make a radio button of choices, and then the slug. Same goes with the comment. There's the content, the post that it's on, which uses foreign key to connect itself to this class here. The author, which is just text that will be filled, and the date, which is auto now equals true. Finally, we have the admin.py page. I really love the admin page because you can go in and control all the database information really conveniently. And it's just very simple. I have these here. So when you go on the post, you can filter by author or date, and it will display each line with the slug, the date, and the author when you go into the admin page. And it is very convenient. And that all of that together, including, just to mention, my static files here, I have CSS files for each page and CSS files for each include, so that I can really section off the pages. Finally, characters.js is what updates the text area to show the remaining characters. Very easy. Every time key up, the function is called, which subtracts the length of the text area from 200 and displays it underneath. And fonts.js, which will use clicking the radio button, will update the font currently in the text area and change the current one to active. And active makes it dark, so you can see which one you've selected. And so that is my code in the end. I'm really proud of it. And if you want more, please check out the GitHub repository. All of that is in there. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. And if you have any collaboration ideas or anything, I would love that too. All right. Thank you so much.